Andy, I've missed seeing you.
Nice to see you.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. So what has singing consisted of for you these past months?
Well, mostly teaching more than singing. A little bit of time in the practice now and then, but...
So, and are you feeling with your use of your voice as a teacher, not a singing voice, but as a teaching voice?
Yes.
Are you experiencing kind of vocal load issues or any hoarseness, anything like that?
No, not at all.
Oh, good. Well, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Terrific. What are you noticing in your students? They're getting ready to be classroom teachers?
Actually, because they are in Kenya, most of them are preparing to perform pop style music.
Yeah.
Less than classical, though I'm training them in the classical style.
I see.
So,
Yeah. Good. And you have the competition is currently going on?
yes, there's a competition currently going.
Okay. Good. And are you hearing some new voices that you didn't hear this time last year?
Yes, they're all new voices actually.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah,
So that's the ripple effect from your good initiative.
yeah.
Cool. All right, have you sung any notes yet today?
No, I have not.
First notes of the day. All right, let's go. Lip trills. Show me that. Yeah, okay, good. So I think it's interesting. A lip trill can be either breathy or very focused in tone. Let's try a breathy but tone-filled lip trill.
Okay.
Right. How about all breath? No tone.
No tone.
Yep. Yeah. So unvoiced, right? And a tony one. Right. And what about give me the tony one and see if you can kind of slide the bar to breathy and back to tony again while you sustain. Tony. Good. Nice. And what about now, let's start with tony, get about halfway and back again. So we're never going to go all the way unvoiced.
Okay. Oh,
Interesting, right?
Yeah,
One more time. There you go. So what we're looking for is the same airspeed that it takes to get that particular arrangement to vibrate. But the diminuendo or the breathiness is not a matter of you backing away with airspeed, but changing the undervowel shape to have that different timbre to it. Say, don't wake the baby.
Don't wake the baby.
All right. So give me a try again and see if you can move yourself into the breathy but still voiced and back again.
Okay.
Very nicely done. So show me with the pointer finger. This is the finger of intention.
Okay.
So that as you sustain, you're going from point A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right about here. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Pivoting in and out of tone, totally tone to slightly breathy, but your intention, your airspeed is continuing through on that finger of intention. One more of those.
Okay.
So we're going tony, breathy, tony, breathy, tony. Let's try that. Tony, breathy, tony, breathy, tony. Ah, what a pain in the butt for your very first exercise. Let's go here. Tony, breathy, tony, breathy, tony. Yeah. What do you think? Is it going to be harder or easier the lower you go in your range?
I think it's gonna be harder.
Yeah. Why?
Because it will need more air to get the lips still vibrating.
Keep going. Well,
So-
the lower the pitch is, the slower, big slow air is what we've got, right? So that mismatch of shape and timbre is not going to really be there for you lower. So let's bump up. Tony. Breathy. Yeah. Say 1, 2, 3 for me. 1, 2, 3. So take your tony all the way to 3.
Okay.
And breathy. Tony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I was meeting to see a second grade class and a fifth grade class.
Wow.
And the second grade teacher told me, we've just been working on voiced and unvoiced sounds.
Wow.
And that's exactly my reaction. Oh, but it's so interesting, right? Because we're so aware of changing the shape of our instrument, the bore of our instrument, to be more in tone and less in tone. That's exactly what would be happening between a voiced and an unvoiced consonant as well. Okay, let's go. Using that lip trill, we're going to go this figure. It's got a little waltz in 3. It's going to go. And we're going to use the lip trill like a consonant, followed by the A vowel as in chaos. So it's going to sound like. Well released. I'm going to put the brakes on as little as is necessary. See if you can feel a quality of H within your A vowel. Hey, say, hey, that's my parking spot.
Hey, that's
yeah, again. Hey, that's my parking spot. Same 2 axes that we're looking at. Is it super medial compressed tone, but low airflow? Or have we found that balance of just where phonation commences? Good for you. Show me with your hand, put one hand up, and the other hand's going to come up and elevate it and set it down somewhere else. So this is going to come along and transport that hand. So even though the interval's going down to 4th, you want to feel your breath come and lift the tone to the next note. Good. Right, so we've got this gesture. We're just practicing. And then we've got this gesture. Make sure that your awareness of this changes a little bit for the last one, because it's only preliminary part of the whole trip. Really nice job. Okay, can you say for me, Is that voiced or unvoiced?
Voiced?
Yes, it has pitch.
Voiced.
It's voiced. It means your vocal folds are abducted. Yes. It is together, right? In the moment before you sing for me, can you feel as if you are humming? So that you're commencing in abduction. Could you feel the difference with that abduction? So you think about that as specifically built for the specific characteristic of the phoneme that we're about to sing. So it's not just some inhale and there we go, but an inhale and then a build to this pitch on that particular phoneme. Yeah, really nice job on the way down. I want to see if we can pinpoint the offset as well. So if you're looking at, think about subdivisions, 1, 2, 1, 2, silence. 1, 2, 1, 2, silence. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, silence. Let's go to try. Silence, right? So that you're looking just right. So what I want to see on the offset is not that the tone has ceased because you snapped the mousetrap shut, but because you've adjusted the shape of your instrument inside. I still feel air engaged, leaning on a shape that's not no longer quite resonant for that note. We also want to feel the quality of the previous, the sung note, present right up to offset, as opposed to it's elegantly going away and then it's gone. Keep your intention right on through. Good job, really nice. So you should not feel a sudden clenching of your vocal folds because of offset, but rather kind of almost like you're getting ready to wheeze or something.
Okay.
Yeah? Good. So you can start to feel how this lip trill, it's going to take a specific breath management, especially as we step on up. That was an E flat. Right there. Great. And then the sensation, a lot of voice teachers work a lot with affect, calling up, summoning up emotion. And that's a lot of times why singing an aria in character works so much better than singing a vocalese where it has no character, right? So we want to make sure that we've chosen something that has a lot of intent to set you up for that high air speed, and then off you go. Off. Off. Beautiful, really, really nice. So that first interval is the biggest. It's a fourth, and there's some registration happening right in the middle of it. We want to make sure, can you show me all your fingertips? They're caressing across, I don't know, a cloth surface, right? You feel this contact here. So A, as opposed to A. And what is that? Working with physicalization and metaphor is often the fastest way to get to the goal that we want, but it's really important that you understand actually physically what is this representing. What do you think it might be representing?
Airspeed.
Thank you. All right. For the chaos vowel, which is that A is the first letter of the American alphabet. A. It's reading a little
I thought so.
So we've got faster air on the bl, and you're using a slower vowel to be your breath management.
Yeah, I felt that.
It's working well, but now you're going to challenge yourself and see if you can find just that tipping point between when in doubt. Think about stepping through the E vowel, which is on the faster side, as opposed to bouncing all the way up to the You're doing great, really nice. Can you say for me, ray of sunshine?
Ray of
you got the important part. Ray of sunshine. Do you notice what changed there as we held it? Yes. So rather than impeding by pulling that lip down, we're going to choose that R axis, the opening of the temporal mandibular joint. Ray of sunshine. Don't misconstrue where a sung sound is with where a spoken might be.
Okay.
So as we exit the lip trill, I'm getting ready to go to as opposed to Go ahead and give me that divergent front shape.
Okay.
Beautiful. Good for you. So when things are slightly less coordinated all of a sudden, that means we're doing well, right? We've dropped the crutches, and we're going to discover something else. That's really nice there, Eddie. I like the chaos vowel a lot better. So when we talk about an over vowel and an under vowel, right, that A that I'm hearing is your over vowel, and it's going to have the chiaroscuro quality that we want, thanks to your choice of an under vowel. So as we move from the consonant, which is in this case, I'm sculpting both the sensation in my pharynx and the quality of that over vowel in that one moment. So here's my consonant, here's the configuration that's going to give me the timbre I want, and the listener gets the vowel that the composer and the poet want.
Okay.
Nice. Good for you. Of these sounds, is a divergent back sound up there, and A is a divergent front sound. Sort of having the slightest. See if you can pinpoint. Right now I feel like it's going too divergent front. Use the quality of management that comes from. Go ahead and stop there. See if you can use the quality of the phoneme as breath management.
Okay.
So slower motion. Show me big hands and draw into a point.
Okay.
My point is even one-dimensional. My big. Here's. In the course of the lip trill, I'm changing the conditions to be favorable to this.
Okay.
It's the gesture. You think about these phonemes as is favorable for but it's only favorable until I get to A. Now I've arrived at favorable for A. A. Nice and smooth, always on the way further down the road. A. So this is something that we didn't work on the last time that we were working together. Well, let's see if you can make that same move for me. And go ahead and peel to a shorter resonator. Obviously, it's not going to be short. It happens right here. But as we make the move to the A vowel, A. So this, we've talked about this line, your sidewall here. This is not going to draw back, but it's going to be a shorter wall. It's not the longest possible wall.
Okay.
A little shorter wall here. Let's give it a try. What do you notice? What do you feel, or what do you hear?
Because now the air has shorter to travel, then it is less strenuous than it would have otherwise been.
Good. So what I hear for this is E4, which is in that kind of rib air octave. We want a contribution of the vocal folds, that spoken appoggio, in the quality of this vowel. If you stay here, we're actually kind of creating enough, I don't know, bossiness in the resonator that the vocal folds are not adducting as colorfully as we would like them to for this octave, right? So although we are in pillow air for A, we're going to go ahead and peel open to the point where we hear Eddie. A. And you probably have a sensation of pronunciation. That contact with the vocal folds. Not to the degree that it feels pushed at a struggle, but just that it feels pronounced. brr does not need to be short.
Okay.
It needs to be what it needs to be. And then we have a transition, little by little. Good for you. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. So if we had not done as great of a job on the brr, we would not have made choices to give it the free air and the fast air that it needs, that phoneme needs. And then getting to the A, that's a handicapped situation because now the first sound already didn't have a balanced resonance. So we want brr, nice heavy tone for that brr, and then the transition to what that balanced A wants.
Okay.
As we come down this, especially the third and the root are in absolute spoken appoggio. So let's see if we can explore the registration a little bit from A. That's going to feel primarily like a shift in your body. Re, ribs out, A, abs engaged.
Okay.
Ribs out, abs engaged.
Okay.
Say moan.
Moan.
Right, so for the M, pillow air, moan. Then we've got that change in appoggio underneath. Let's see how that goes. Going to lengthen.
Oh, okay.
A, but the larynx is going to lower.
Okay.
A.
Okay. Sorry.
Think M first. Shapes of your instrument to happen as part of the transition. So A change, A change, A. It kind of prepare you the way of the Lord. It prepares the way of your arpeggio coming down there. Any questions on that so far?
No, it feels great not having to keep shifting.
Yeah. So we've talked about this before. There's really two ways to go at vocal progress, right? Polishing. Do we have a sound ideal? And whatever you do to get that sound, I'm on board with that. Do we have some kind of ideas that will lead you to discover the sound? And really we want to, as teachers, fine teacher yourself, as teachers, we kind of want to use one route and use the other route, and use one route and use the other route. And to really make sure that you have a sense of the sound of Eddie, especially if you're below the formant of that vowel, that you have some literal sense of spoken Eddie timbre. It might actually cut down on the amplitude of your vibrato a bit, which I would say I see that on a spectrum from beautiful ample vibrato, which you have, to a fully inflated sound, which would be on the non-vib side. And we want to see if we can move the marker a little bit from this vibrato towards, for the sake of the exercise, if nothing else, that sighing sensation, which I would call fully inflated. Yeah? Got more and more, I mean, that's kind of a lovely thing, and it's a very human thing in a way, that I'm asking for more eddy. And more eddy is going to require more breath and less tone in that sense. Hey, I want a sense of the man, of the human who's sharing this sound with me, not aspiring to a sound that is somehow, how did that come out of a human body? We like the humanity of it. It's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage. It's an asset. Good, I like it a lot, Eddie. So that, I think that is a really good priority in all the many things that I throw at you. To simplify it and boil it down, that sense of that the listener can empathetically feel the sensation of breath in what you're doing is what we're after. Absolutely. You got set up that time, and there was a lot of work in your torso. I wonder if that can be a little simpler. So take an inhalation pretty rapidly. Form with the inside soft skin of your lips. And don't think any further than the lip trill at first. Yeah? Let's go again. Very nice. So we want to drop the abs. Feel fully inflated. Feel that the inside of your resonator is low air pressure. That your vocal folds are adducted. Good. So a little bit of coordination for intonation now. If things are a little below the pitch, what does that tell us?
The airspeed is not sufficient.
Yeah. So generally, I would say the timbre that you think you need to aim for is a timbre of a little bit too low airspeed. Hey, think a word. Hey, Aviva, get down off that bookshelf. Hey, yeah. Which once again, we talked about the tiny little transition from an H, unvoiced, to the very front edge of the vowel. And that's where we would like to navigate, is right along that joining.
Okay.
Cool. Let's move on for the sake of, let's see where we're at in our, I think we better try some repertoire. Do you have anything? I mean, there was a very, very short bit of vocalization there.
Un'aura amorosa.
Ah, lovely. Okay. Do you have a part for me to read off of?
Would you prefer the book or the tablet?
Whatever you would not prefer. Okay. We are broadcasting today from the studio of Maria Frutos, who's a wonderful collaborative pianist here in Bloomington. Since I live off in the woods and I'm trying to be as available as possible, we're here, but I don't have my library with me. So fortunately, Eddie is a smart, savvy educator, and he brought a book for me too. Let's start by droning the text, okay?
Okay.
You speak un'aura.
Okay. Un'aura amorosa.
Good for you. Now show me your fingers again. Un'aura amorosa. Every bit of every syllable knows that it's heading to the silence after amorosa.
Okay. Un'aura amorosa.
Good. I think that that quick syllable of morosa is the only one where your tide turned. We would like to, for this exercise, really have the tide steadily in one direction. So not amorosa, but amorosa. Here, there, I tried to demo for you that it doesn't mean I wouldn't go for an unaccented timbre. Amorosa. So I'm choosing a shape that gives me the timbre of an unaccented syllable without me pulling my air off of it. In a way, my air feels dumb. It just feels delivered and leaning, and then I catch it with whatever shape I'm building there. So we've got a whole series here of beautiful Italian consonants that are not resonant. Does that make sense to you? So if I had a resonant N, etc., it would sound like un'auramorosa, with length and duration to those consonants. But that would not be authentic Italian pronunciation, right? So we're sticking with a condition that's not the happiest resonant condition for those consonants. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Let's do it without the consonants. Your turn. Lovely, right? So you feel that sequence moving through all of those vowels. The one that I would not have enjoyed as much as I enjoyed the others is your very first ah vowel. You're coming from an oo. Is that fast air or slow air? An oo.
Slow.
Fast air.
Or fast.
Look at the vowel dial here, right? So these ones up here have the lowest formant. They have the least contribution of the adduction of the vocal folds. Oo and e. Ooh, 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 simple, fast air, compared to ah. So we start this piece by going ooh, na. Let's see if instead we can choose ooh, na, ura, morosa. If you were holding a mirror up in front of you, it would get a little vapor condensation on all of those, as opposed to ooh, na, dry as a desert. Wow. One more time. Good for you. So we do this droning exercise on basically one pitch height so that you can have a comparison, this vowel versus that vowel. But of course there's all sorts of different pitches there. Let's try it with some bad piano playing. Imagine me going on your offsets, okay? Taking yourself to embedding the tone in that silence. Good, let's go that far again. Really nice. So I don't know if you could feel, but the timbre on una was lovely, but I could feel you kind of rummaging around for what am I going to manage this?
Yeah, it is. I was surprised at how easier it is now than I thought it would be for this particular.
Well, we want to kind of we kind of want to buy in to the scam. It's not a scam; it's the truth. That the diction, the text, is the management of our breath. Una, ura, morosa, and we can complement that with kind of whatever's complementary, using the leverage that you have in your body. But you don't want to think of the text as something superficial, superfluous on top of it, because we want to have that humanity. We want to have the sound of Eddie, and we want to have that vicarious feel of your breath. Good, so I'm feeling we've got a dotted rhythm here all the way throughout. Just awesome in bel canto that we have this kind of una ora moro. That moment of the dot is really an undervowel change, but you can fall into the trap of ebbing away. Aura amorosa. And instead, you're the vocal soloist, we need you to make the other choice. Aura amorosa del nostro tesoro. So that is a freeing of air rather than a stinginess of air.
Okay.
Right, okay. Good choices there, yeah? Can you give me an actual rolled R for ristoro? I un dolce ristoro. It's not easy. It requires choreography. Let's start on that.
Okay. Un dolce ristoro.
The rolled R, right? So we want to go for that for sure. Going up this fourth, C sharp to F sharp. Under that we have in that octave. Under that we have that primary undervowel dialing. We've got an E shape under the C sharp, and an A shape. Say for me, E. Again. Now let's do it silent. Let's do it in a whisper. And now we're going to whisper, but we're going to change the shape so that it's absolutely silent. Air is flowing. That is your undervowel choreography for corpora gelare.
Okay.
Un dolce. When you make your N, can you take the tip of your tongue all the way past your incisors? Un dolce.
Okay. Un dolce ristoro.
So that you were very brave. That move, E to A, happens before the second eighth note of the bar.
Okay.
So your undervowel moves, and you then join it as it goes. Un dolce. Again.
Un dolce ristoro.
Lengthening, cor, and shortening. A little lengthening for the trip and a shortening for the arrival.
Okay, lengthening the
shape of your resume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have this storo. Give me storo. Just those two notes. Storo. Vowel on the A.
Okay.
Good. Sto. Say toe.
Toe.
Sto.
Sto.
Yep, here we go.
Sto.
You're right.
Okay. Sto.
Good. So what you gave me before was a very open ah, if not an ah, actually, which is a slower vowel on a moment when you want to fly. So it was a little flat and it was a little labored because you were choosing something that you could feel to push against instead of something that is happy to just whoop, shoot on up chimney for you.
Okay.
Un dolce.
Un dolce
Good, I loved ristoro. Very nice. Let's see if we can think the same thing on dolce, dolce. Can you show me? I know you're an excellent violinist. Nah. Can you show me on your fingerboard vibrato that goes up the fingerboard? Dum, vibrate, dum, again, dum. So rather than something just a little more buoyant. There's also registration happening there right around that C4. So we're making sure that we're making choices that will get us past a registration event.
Okay.
Instead of pushing away at it. I loved cor, I loved sto oro and cor. As you head for the letter P in porgera, it does indeed raise your larynx a little bit, but let's see if we can choose. Cor, porgera. So rather, what I'm hearing now is cor, porgera, and you're resetting after when you're in the vowel. Let's see if we can reset as part of the move from the consonant. You could try thinking of a B instead of the P. Cor, borgera. So you have a little more knowledge of where your larynx is. Choose the O, porgera. When we write the IPA for j, how do we write that?
The D and
the funny Z thing, right?
So
let's make sure we're aware of the D. Porgera. If you're pressing and lifting the larynx on the D, then that's what's left over. As soon as we get the front edge of the D, porgera, we're on our way to the lower larynx. Un dolce. Mozart's giving us a little arpeggio exercise. So make sure that you're ringing a C sharp that is in the harmonic series. The beginning of it, terrific, really nice intonation. The P still had just a little sob in it, which might be perfectly appropriate for Puccini. But let's see if we can not have it here. Generally, all of these consonants, you're going to have a pull the bow sensation from the consonant to the vowel. So from ST, sto,